So now earlier when I was filming a scene for this circuit right there, we have a transistor. It turns on turns on instantly. I don't know why I keep saying automatically, but turns on instantly and fades off over time, as you can see there. So the rate that it fades off, how quickly it fades off, is determined mostly by this capacitor. So that's the thing we can adjust the most. So in another video I showed that you can just take another capacitor here, and each one of them is 100 microfarad. Now we basically have a 200 microfarad capacitor, and it's going to take about twice as long for it to fade off right there. Now these are polarized capacitors. Here is where I ran into a problem when I was filming it, and I just reshot the scene. It wasn't part of the video, but there you can see it faded off. It took about twice as long. And what I did wrong was, I'm going to move this one out of the way. These are polarized capacitors. You have to put them in the right way, and also you got to make sure you wire them properly. So I'm going to go to the positive rail right there, and then slide her in. And there you can see that now the LED is on. LED is on completely. So I'm not sure if we have a complete short right there, because they are polarized. They are only intended, okay, it's not a complete short because current went down right there. But you can see that it is still lit up a bit right there. So we do not want to do that. Now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to discharge it. So just go to the same rail right there. And I want to make sure I give it a proper charge again. So we should not see the glow at all. You can see we got the negative side of the capacitor to the negative rail, and I'm going to charge it. And you don't want to reverse the polarity on them. That is a problem. And so let's plug this one in. So I'm pretty sure it was this one that I did that to by accident in the first place. These are both about the same size and everything, but this one looks like it has the normal spacing. I adjusted the spacing of this one in order to fit up there a little bit better. So we have the negative side, because it's polarized, of this capacitor. Not all capacitors are polarized. If they weren't, these weren't polarized capacitors, I wouldn't be really worried that I messed up the wiring on them. But they're old, you know, so I probably abused them over time. And so we need to keep the negative side more negative. And so when I close the switch there, you can see that the positive side of the capacitor gets positively charged. And then it discharges through there, but it will never discharge below the, when it comes to the positive side, below the voltage of the negative side right there, because it's, you know, we got a diode right there preventing it from completely discharging. Going to discharge down to about 0.6 volts. At about 0.6 volts, the transistor turns off. You need that, so it's going to stay positive there. Now, if instead of going to the negative side of the power supply, right there, we put it to the positive, again, that's what I accidentally did. I'm going to do it again right there. And when I say that it turns on fully, there you can see the current's going down right now. Let's jump this back to the negative side of the power supply. And then I press that button. Make sure we charge it. There you can see when it's on fully, it's about 12 milliamps of current. I'm going to, let's discharge it first. We'll discharge it. And then I'll accidentally put it, purposely, but it should be accidentally, put it to the positive supply. There you can see we had the full current. So current was going in the transistor, headed to ground right there, and because it was charging, so it was charging through that 10K resistor. But it's not going to turn off completely because it's not perfect. The capacitor is not perfect, and a lamp is at the dimmest setting. But yeah, it's not going to shut off completely because there is a little bit of leakage. A little current can still get through right there. But hopefully, since we had current limited as much as we do, let's give her a charge and then let her discharge. Hopefully it didn't do any damage. But again, as I said before, I've been using these capacitors, I think, for 10 years now. So my channel is, I think it's going to turn 11 years old in 2026. and I started 2015, and I bought the capacitor sometime shortly after I started, maybe even before I started making videos. So that's when I got these particular capacitors, unless I got them from a different kit. That could be as well. But this is the main thing. You got to be careful putting these in backwards. They're polarized. Their polarity depends on keeping the charge in the proper direction, right there. And if you put reverse charge, and you don't destroy it instantly, because if you do too much voltage, reverse charge, it can destroy it instantly. That's a good reason why they got these vents right there. They hopefully will just release gas instead of blowing up, and apparently people can actually get hurt, get flying metal. If a large one of these, and I accidentally stuck it in the wrong slot that time. There we go. So now I'll give it a charge. Make sure we get it proper. So yeah, it's really easy to do, and I didn't mean for this video to be that long, but hopefully you still enjoyed. It's really easy to miswire things. Pay close attention while you're wiring it up. When I'm filming videos is when I make the most mistakes by far, because I'm focused more on what I'm talking about than how I'm actually putting components in, and I'm looking in the screen to see what you can see and whatever. So I make a lot more mistakes. I don't think it's common to accidentally put the negative side of the capacitor to the positive rail instead of the negative. But when you're making videos, you're paying attention to other stuff, even though it sounds like you're just focused on what you're doing, and it's easy to make mistakes. But thanks for watching.